Alright, so I wanted to test out the coding capabilities of GP5. Make a standalone playable game of chess where the pieces are all Pokemon with sprites from the internet and make it look premium so the sprites fill up the squares. Okay, so it's thinking. Last time it did it in React. Okay, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Run the code first. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Let's do a new game. Let's move Pikachu here. Okay, so it looks like there's no AI. Okay, the squares are a little bit weird, but that's fine. Can all the pieces move like they're supposed to, though? Okay, so it's my turn. I'm guessing my Mew is my queen. Oh, my Mew is my queen and my Mewtwo is my king. Okay. Let's see if I can move my knight. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see if you could move the opponent's knight, which is... I forgot the name of this Pokemon. That is cool. I mean, there's some bugs, right? I can no longer, like, see my other Pokemon here. Barely see my Mewtwo, which was my Charizard. It's my Rook. So can I take a piece? Yes, I could take a piece. But it seems that if I go... That is interesting. Okay. Can I flip the board? Yeah, I can flip the board. We could undo a move. Okay, maybe that's not working. Export PNG. Okay. Make a new game. So this is actually really good for one prompt. I've worked closely with Claude. Even Claude Sonnet I don't think can do this in one prompt. Now, it does have its bugs, right? Such as when I go and I move some of the pieces, some of the squares become smaller and then I won't be able to see the entire board. But this is really good for the initial, just one prompt. Let's move on to the next test that I want to give it here. A lot of models like Claude, Sonnet, and even Kimi K2 have a lot of problems with the physics when making video games. So I want to know what GP5 will do when I ask it to do the following. So let's see. We're going to create a standalone 2D fighting game. Use online Pokemon sprites. Allow the player to use the AWSD keys to move the player. Let's see. So this is what it's generated. I'm now going to see if I can move the player with AWS key. Okay. I'm able to move. I'm able to jump. Okay. This is oh wow. Okay, so it seems like Pikachu's facing the wrong way. But this is huge. This is huge because Claude would struggle so much with this. And to be able to do this on the first run, that is so just for reference, we have Claude open. I'm fortunate enough to have the Opus model. Let's use the Opus model, the most powerful. Oh boy, what? Alright, so it seems to have finished developing it. Let's start a game. And already we don't see any of the sprites. Defeated. So this is what I'm talking about, right? I've worked with Claude before. A lot of people might disagree with me here, but I think Sonnet has personally treated me better than Opus. It has generated a game on the first run, but there's some bugs, and what I typically do is I'd go in and debug whatever bugs are here. But yeah, GPT is the first one. And before GPT-5, I've never used GPT. I only used Claude. Another AI model such as Chinese models like inference. But this is a change. But we've tried giving Opus that prompt. Let's try Sonnet. Sonnet, like I said earlier, has been a little bit more helpful for me. Although I know Opus is supposed to be a better model, but it just has been my anecdotal experience. So this is what I'm noticing. With Claude, and I have had this before, it's sort of difficult for it to add external sprites. I don't know how GP5 is able to add external sprites so easily. So that's what I would go in and edit that. But it gave us something to work on. And as you can see, this is obviously better than Opus. So let's see if we can move. Okay, yes, we can move the. See, that's the problem. There is no gravity. And if I try to ask it to, implement a gravity, it would have a really hard time doing so. And I'm not gonna do that right now. Trust me, I've spent a lot of hours building other games and asking it to implement a physics engine, and it's not good at generating physics. Okay, so here's another thing that sort of surprised me about GP5. I was just asking it, I'm in the market for a watch. I can go swimming both in the ocean and in the pool. I spelled definitely wrong. Definitely only shallow water. What watch would you recommend? So it just, it gave me some recommendations, normal behavior from an AI, something that you'd expect. I said, I prefer thin watches, as thin as possible. That's true. I do prefer thin watches. More down here, we had a conversation about the differences between Casio F91W and the G-Shock GLX 5600. And I thought, okay, well, I might get the GLX 5600. It might be a good watch, but I don't know how thick it is. I don't know how it would look in my wrist, and I wouldn't know the size comparison. So it actually asked me, if you want, I can show you a side-by-side picture between the two watches. And in the past, I feel like whenever GP would have asked me this, it would get the image wrong. But here, it did find the exact size-by-size comparison of the exact same watches that I wanted to compare. So having that watch comparison, I want to give it another test. I want to ask it, can you provide images that illustrate the size comparison between a Casio 91W and a Garmin Phoenix. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so here are a few images. The first one shows a Garmin Phoenix wearing, okay, and the other shows a Casio 91W. Alright, so this watch is a Casio, it's not a Garmin. Just for reference, the Garmin watch should look like this. This is a Garmin Phoenix. It's a sports watch, digital watch. Another Casio by Casio comparison. So it doesn't have an image of a Garmin Phoenix, but is it stating that it does? The first one shows a Garmin Phoenix. No, it's not. Okay. Alright, so it only has some image detection is sometimes correct. Not all the time. So let's give it a test. Create a flyer for my uncle's happy birthday. Let's just say, create a flyer for my uncle's birthday. He loves frogs, watches clowns and nature. Let's see, I want to add a text. Somewhere in the flyer, add a text saying you're never too old to enjoy life. Smiley face. Would it get the smiley face in? Let's find out. Okay. I guess it's generating it. Yes. So it's generated. The frog's missing an eye. And you can't really see the letter U, but it seems like they were trying to incorporate you're never and then never twice, so you're very too old, and then they just dropped the rest of it. Okay. Dropped it down here to enjoy life. Oh, and then it almost got the smiley. Okay, but I thought that I said period, comma. Okay, so this seems very similar to the last AI. Not bad. You could edit some things out. I like it. Thing I've seen online that GP5 is struggling with and that people are pointing out is math. So I want to give it the following problem here. Let's say solve for x, and let's have 7.8 equals 2x plus 3.112. Let's see. Okay. That's correct. That one's correct, but I saw one on Twitter that it made a mistake. Solve for x 5.9 is equal to x plus 5.11. Yeah, it got it right. Another thing that I like to see GP do better is alter the images that I provide to it. So sometimes I don't have a LinkedIn ready picture that I want to use as my profile picture. So I want to use GP to convert into a more LinkedIn friendly profile pic. So let's see what it's able to do. Convert. Let's ask it, convert the image provided into a LinkedIn ready picture. And sometimes the problem when I was running this is that it'll distort my face to make it look not like me anymore, or it'll look too AIE. In this case, I'm curious as to what it's going to do because I have my headphones on here and I have a virtual background. So this is what I'm talking about. One, this looks very AIE, looks very AI generated, and two, it just doesn't look like me anymore. It looks like someone else. But I like the fact that it didn't distort my ears. In earlier iterations, it has, because I've tested this out before. But not really much of a change. Still basically the same.